So good morning, everyone. Thank you for tuning in this morning. We had an initial broadcast and we lost that broadcast. So I'm just doing a short redo for those of you that missed the JumpStart this morning, and it's about times and sequences, and then we lost the broadcast. So basically we're looking at 1 Corinthians chapter 11. Good morning, Susan. And yes, it is still noon. Anyway, folks, so we were looking at 1 Corinthians 11 and 25, where Jesus said to do in this manner, and that's what Paul was copying in 1 Corinthians. So the whole focus here was on how to remember the importance of communion and fellowship and how crucial that is. One of the things that we get lost in, and I referred to this in the previous broadcast, is the focus on stuff rather than on communion of fellowship with Jesus Christ, Holy Spirit, and other saints. The difficulty we have today is there's so much inundation from our culture pointing to stuff and not focusing on fellowship and communion, which is crucial to you and I growing in a relationship with Jesus Christ, and acknowledging that we need to focus on fellowship and communion, and we also need to build our relationships with each other, and these things are really, really important to work with. Not get focused on this stuff, but get focused on the communion with Christ. Good morning, Sandra Rachel. We lost our morning broadcast, and we're just trying to do a redo this morning, try and put things back on track. So as we're looking at 1 Corinthians 11:25, the issue is remembering. This do in remembrance of me, Paul said in 1 Corinthians, but Jesus was being quoted by Paul in 1 Corinthians 11. And so this do in remembrance of me. Why? Because we're forgetful. As human beings, we are constantly trying to give ourselves reminders and cues and tips and sticky notes and messages and calendar prompts and all sorts of things. So one of the things that we need to focus on is remembering God's provision for forgiveness and his healing for us and his salvation for us, and all these things that we get focused in the culture of life, and we miss remembering that it's about Jesus. And in order to work with relationships with other people, we have to remember our relationship with Christ. Remember, he forgave us. Remember, he's offering us fellowship. Remember, he's offering us communion. Remember the good things. Remember that God has forgiven you of the sins and mistakes we've made in the past, and pay that forward. As you remember what God did for you, you in turn do the same thing for others, and watch how that message goes forward. That will really jumpstart your weekend. It will jumpstart your life, change everything about how you do life in your relationships with people. So I just want to short little redo and say, folks, remember how important communion with Christ is, and remember how important communion with people are, and that if Christ has forgiven us, we can forgive others and we can move forward and be really thankful for what God has given us. Jumpstart your weekend. Have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. Please like and share, and let's get the message out there that communion and fellowship, that's one of the things that's happened in this pandemic, is that people have lost fellowship with people, and they've lost communion with people, and we need to connect in a different way. It's not that we're not connecting, we need to connect in a different way in order to keep those ties of communion and fellowship together. So it's not the same as person to person, but it is crucial for relationships to be maintained. Remember, back in the old days, we used to just write letters, and we didn't have all this technology for in person to see people. in real life circumstances, just like we're having a little broadcast right now. It's amazing how far we've come, and that this tool can be used for the gospel. So please do that, like and share and get it out there, because someone needs encouragement and hope in regards to how they do life. Okay? God bless you and thank you.